Hey guys, it's Derek, aka Man Coach, coming live from the office again. Hope you boys have had a great week. Today is Thursday, and for those of you that worked that great old 5-day weekend, you got only one more day left. And so I hope everything's been going well for you. So I just wanted to come and follow up from my post on Monday, my Man Up Monday post, and just to talk about a little bit about fear. You know, that was the topic for the week: fear, false evident appearing real. And I'm gonna tell you guys, it's real deal too. It's a real deal. It's a real deal breaker. It's a real deal Holyfield. That word fear, or that thing fear, could set you back for years, for decades, and sometimes even for a lifetime. Especially when you don't grab the tools that it takes to overcome it. False evidence appearing real, guys. That's all it is. That's all it is. And once we master that, we can understand that, then that helps us to move forward in life and conquer those things that we've been fearing. And think it not strange, guys, the things that you fear the most, that we fear the most, that I feared the most, was the things and the places that I was supposed to go and do. So the reason fear sets in is because that's part of the destiny, and it's a new jungle. I call it a new jungle. And so with that, it also makes you uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable, we don't like that. We want comfort. But when you think about where we as men, how we were designed, we were designed as hunters. We're hunters. We're hunters by nature. And so we go after things. That's just who God created us to be and how He made us. And we are warriors and wild hunters, and we chase lions. And it just seems, for some reason, we can't. We have a hard time chasing that line of fear. There are some opportunities that I missed out on because I was fearful of it. Didn't know if I was good enough. Didn't know if I had what it took. Didn't know if I would be in it for a long period of time before I got fired or terminated or demoted. So it's a real issue. It's real live issues, and we as men, we got to be able to learn how to conquer that so we can pass it down to our other generation. And some of you guys got children and other sons, and definitely you don't want your sons growing up, or your children at all, growing up being afraid of fear, being fearful to take risks, being fearful to look that lion in the eyes and chase him and conquer the things that they desire to have, and that's a part of their destiny. So there's 9 things that I've done to help me overcome the fear that plagued me, that allowed me to miss job opportunities, promotions. I mean, just a lot of different things that I've missed out on because of fear. Those of you that know my story, you know, 1.9 GPA cumulative grade point average in high school. That's what I graduated with. I only did enough to get by, and some of that was because of fear. You know, fear will paralyze you guys, and if you don't grab hold to it and you don't understand it, it could get the best of you. So the first thing you got to do, though, to overcome fear is you gotta discover the foundation of the fear. If you don't know what's bringing the fear, you can't fight it. I had to sit down and really think about what was bringing the fear that I had, that was taking over my life. And when I realized that, that's when I was able to come up with a strategy and a game plan and get some help in that area. You can't get help with something that you don't know. You don't know anything about, or you're afraid to I guess you would say, challenge yourself to move forward in. So you got to discover the foundation of the fear. Second thing you got to do, you got to admit the fears. And you know, fellas, this is a big thing with us. We hate to admit when we're scared, And truth be told, some of you don't like roller coasters. Some of you don't like spooky houses. Some of you don't even like being in the house by yourself. So, so when a man say he ain't scared, that's totally not true, because we all have some fear in us at some point in our life. But overcoming the fear that plagues us and keeps us from moving forward in our destiny is huge and is major. And so you got to admit that. They always say the first sign of getting help is you got to admit that you need help. And until you admit that you need help, you can't get help because you don't know who to reach out and get help from, because you won't admit that you need help. But anyway, we're going to move on off that. The next thing, you got to accept fear as the price of progress. As long as you continue to push it out into the world, you can conquer it. I'm going to say it again. As long as you're able to push it out to the world, you can conquer it. Meaning, as long as you're able to tell the world what you're fearful about and tell somebody that you're close to, who you're accountable to, whether it's your buddy, your spouse, somebody you work with, whoever it is, somebody at your church, your pastor, it doesn't matter. Tell somebody. And when you start talking about your fears, when you start admitting your fears, that's when you start, the fear starts to get smaller and smaller. I've seen that in my life when I was able to admit that I was fearful and why I was fearful. Then I was able to, I seen it slowly diminish. And so you got to make sure you do that. And then another thing, you got to have a burning desire to really want to overcome this thing of fear. I can remember being afraid of roller coasters and spooky houses and just little things outside of business. And it wasn't until I rode my first roller coaster that I got over the fear. And ever since then, I've been riding roller coasters. But that's just on the natural side of what I'm saying. On a more personal level, I had to conquer job promotions. I had to conquer new jungles, new jobs, new careers. I had to conquer new relationships. And the more I done that, the easier it became, guys. And the more I seen that it really wasn't as big as I was making it. Again, remember, fear is false evident appearing real. So you got to keep that in your mind. It's all in your head. And if you can whip it in your head, you can whip it in the natural. And so and move forward to that. So the next thing I would say is focus on what you can control. You can't control everything. I know we as men want to think we can, but we can't. We can't control everything. And so with that, you have to really focus on what we can control. And that's the things that we're fearful about. Now we can't control dying. That's just part of life. We're all gonna die one day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't walk around and try and fear that. And so the things that you can take hold of and overcome, those are the things that you ought to challenge yourself, as well as not just you, but challenge your family, challenge your spouse, challenge your children. You've seen some things that they're fearful in, and I'll challenge you to challenge them to overcome the fears of the things that they've been fearing. So guys, I'm about out of time, but I just wanted to give you those quick little nuggets that helped me overcome the fears that plagued me for so long. And I hope that these few nuggets that I've given you today, you can take it and move forward. Hey, drop me a line. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know how it's going for you this week. Let me know if you got any tips or advice on overcoming fear. Hey, share with the brothers. That's what this platform again is all about. It's about learning from each other. I'm not the expert, but I am human, and I am open to learning from anybody at any time. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next week. Out. Stay woke.